to re-tip the frame and tie the rear end in. And they've got to slide that into the universal joint. It usually takes a swift kick in the rear in order for that to fit in. Did you get it to fit in, Doug? They're not even slowing down. That is great. Now you remember that the Model Ts were built from 1907 until 1927. And in that time, Ford used the assembly line, developed it to do quite an advantage in building. And he would roll these down the assembly line, and his boys were being paid $5 a day for working for him, which was a high price in that time. And he had a very determined group of workers to help him get that job done. Okay, we got body coming. How we doing, Holly? We doing good time so far? We're at 2 minutes. Let's hear it from the crowd. Let's hear it. These guys work best with that. We recognize that Ford's assembly plants turn down about 18 million Model Ts around the world. And we still have some of them that look like they were built originally, but this isn't one of them. You'll note that they have to stuff parts in. They're trying to put now the steering column and the steering wheel. That has to be poked down through there and hooked up so that it'll steer. They've already been able to put the front assembly with the front wheels and the spring. That has to be tied down so that it doesn't slip away on them. The rear end has to have the U-bolts tied onto it on the back to hook the spring up. They will end up putting the deck lid on the back. You'll notice that deck lid is just aerated. We would like to have had louvers put in it, but the farmer that had this thing shot it full of holes instead, so it lets the air out the back just fine when we're going forward. You'll notice that Rudy's putting in the seat, which is a wooden box, and Niederhauser, when he's driving, he wears special breeches so that he doesn't get slivers in his hip. We're thrilled to make this thing happen for y'all because it has parts from Model T Club, Model A clubs. To allow this whole function to happen, we have been able to use a new term called wing nuts, and we put some of the bolts on to keep the fenders and the running splash aprons on with wing nuts in order to be legal and have everything bolted together. You will note that they have to put the radiator on. They will put water in the car and put the cap on. They have to put gasoline in it in order for it to run. They have to hook the battery up. How are we doing so far, Holly? Give me a signal. We're at 4 minutes, boys. Anytime you're ready, we'll be ready to stop the clock. We're getting ready to put the hood on, and the back end's all prepared. Okay, let's give them another big holler, folks. Thanks a lot. Yeah, good job, guys. We're going. We're down the step. We're backed up. We're going backwards now. Speed's off. We're done. Yeah.